What it do? What it do? What it do? What's going on, guys? It is your boy Daga, and welcome to Eagles Unleashed, episode 4. And over here, I'm with our boy Queezy the Great, and we have a special guest as well. You already know him, Philly 500. How you fellas doing today?
I'm doing great, man. How are you guys doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right, man.
Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good as well, man. Hey, we have a packed show today, man. And Philly 500, man, I appreciate you coming through and talking to us and all that as well, bro.
Oh no, I mean I appreciate you guys inviting me on, man. I'm sorry that we didn't get a chance to do this sooner. That was my fault, but I'm glad that you guys had me on.
Oh no, you
Yeah, I
good,
see, yeah.
man.
All right, so the first topic actually I want to get to as it is Jonathan Taylor, bro. So the Colts, allow him to seek a trade. Now, what do you think? What is the possibility actually of the how we going and get on acquiring Jonathan Taylor?
Like percentage wise, like I'll give it a 20% chance, and I'll give 20 only because the Colts are here. So the Eagles are going to have an opportunity to like talk to Jonathan Taylor if they want to, and I think that can be a big factor. But the problem I see with Jonathan, and I was really debating, do I want to do a video on this or if I do, will I jinx it? But I mean, the problem with Taylor is I don't think they're going to pay him what he wants. Like, he wants a new contract, so you have to pay him big money. I don't know that the Eagles would pay running back that kind of money. I think that is the biggest holdup out of anything. Would be that.
Okay. What about you,
I'll
Queenie?
say
What do
20%.
you think?
I'm gonna say probably like 5%, but I wouldn't be surprised if we could pull something off like that because of course, we got the masked magician, Howard Roseman. He'll try to scandal his way into finessing somebody into a good contract, and also just probably talking Jonathan Taylor into coming into the Eagles, like basically saying we probably want you here, but you probably have to take a back seat, part of the little pay cut for this first year or something, just to so that we can win and go to the Super Bowl. But I'd probably give it 5% though. I don't see us getting them though anyway. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's just up and so. Oh, Eagles have traded for Jonathan Taylor because that's what Harry Roseman do. So
Yeah, I
Now,
feel you. So
do you
actually,
know?
bro,
I was
go
just
ahead,
going to
Phil.
ask if you guys do you know if is he in the last year of a deal? Is this the last year of his deal?
I
I,
believe it
I
is.
think so.
So I actually, bro, tell you the truth, I was actually really thinking about this, man. And I would give really like a good 30 to 40% chance possibility actually how we bring him in. And let me tell you why. I'll tell you why, man. Look, first of all, we're gonna be on training on against the Colts this week. Okay.
Right.
Now, second of all, Jalen Hurts, man. Jalen Hurts in that locker room, you know. So that like our locker room is different from other locker rooms, man. Because they're like a family, and it's not just like one person talk, like one player talk about it, the other player talk about it. Everybody talks about it. You see it on the media as well. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, Jonathan Taylor, he's from New Jersey as well. So if he
Mhm.
comes over here, he knows most likely he's gonna come. He's gonna go to at least NFC Championship this year. Okay, so he's gonna put up huge numbers. The same thing that what Miles Sanders did last year, and Miles Sanders he got the bag for the Carolina. So imagine he comes over here, he played behind the best offensive line in the league, get huge numbers, and then most likely he's gonna get the bag.
Yeah.
Comparing to
He'll
this
get
team
2,000
with the
yards
Colts,
behind this
and
line.
most likely not getting the bag because most likely he's not gonna put the same amount of numbers on as he would put over here with the Eagles as well. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's kind of a similar situation with on 2017, Jay Ajayi, whenever we trained with the Miami Dolphins and he was with the Miami Dolphins. And then toward, I think it was like I think it was August or something. That's whenever we traded for Jay Ajayi as well, you know.
We traded him on the trade deadline, the day of the trade deadline. That's when we got Ajayi. But we talked to him. If you remember, we talked to him because we had joint practices with the Dolphins that summer. So they actually spent some time talking to him. So yeah, I mean, if he's willing to play on the last year of his contract in Philly, then yeah. But if he wants a big contract, I don't know that the Eagles will sign him to a big contract.
Yeah,
You know?
and that I don't think they would either. You know, like if they what I would think is like they would have bring him in, he would have played the last year of his contract, you know, and then he would have get paid somewhere else. I don't think they would have paid him either.
Yeah, I got a question for you two though. Like, just in case, okay, if we were to get him, like, what would y'all trade him for? Like, what would y'all give up to get him? Like, first round or second round? Do y'all feel like he's worth the first round pick?
No, I'm not giving a first round pick. I'm probably not even giving a second. Like, to me, maybe a third, or maybe a third, maybe, but fourth, or it'd be like I'd throw like Rashad Penny or another back to send them back. You know what I mean? With the pick, but I'm not giving a first, second round pick for him. No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it either. Especially for a rental, I definitely wouldn't. Just for a 1 year, like giving a second or third, not even a third round, I wouldn't give up for it either.
Yeah.
I'll probably maybe a fourth, you know. Now, if it would have signed him, then I would have think, okay, a third rounder, you know. But just for a rental, definitely not giving a third rounder.
Okay.
Now, another thing, actually, I'm going to play this. Go ahead.
I want to say though, like I know everybody's like, we need a running back. I kind of like the guys we got. Like, I think we're going to be just fine at running back. If I'm going to go spend money on somewhere else, I swear, I think I'm going to go look for another safety or look for a linebacker before a running back.
Probably another linebacker for sure.
That's true.
Yeah.
And that good thing that you mentioned that, because that was going to be our next point as well. You know, now Miles Jack just retired. Okay, so what are your thoughts so far on our linebacker core? You know, especially since Miles Jack, because Miles Jack came in, a lot of us really thought he was going to be a starter. You know, next to Nakobe Dean. You know, now that he just retired, he fell down on the depth chart. You know, to Cunningham. So what is your thought on a linebacker right now?
I like Nakobe Dean. I think Nakobe Dean's going to be a player. I actually think Cunningham was a steal. He looks like he's going to be fine. So I think those two guys are fine. Where I get worried about the linebackers is really after that, because I know Ellis has a lot of upside, but he missed a lot of tackles. I just don't know what other linebackers that I can really trust. Now, maybe Ellis will wind up being that guy. I don't know. They got that kid Van Summerton or whatever his name is. I think he needs like a whole year on the practice squad. He's got a lot of talent too, but he needs time to develop. So I feel like you're thin at linebacker. Like I feel like besides Dean and Cunningham, I don't really feel comfortable with what we have, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I don't know if y'all saw it, like when we first traded for both of them. I said in my YouTube short, I feel like Zach Cunningham was gonna start over Miles Jack anyway. But now that he retired, I feel like we could possibly, if not, didn't Davion Taylor sign back with the Bears? Did he sign with the Bears?
Not that I know of. I don't know that he did.
I seen him, but I probably would go back and get him. I mean, it's somebody we already know. Like we know what we getting. I mean, he can't be worse than Miles Jack, but
right.
But I feel like we definitely need another. We could use another depth piece. I originally wanted Isaiah Simmons. That's what I really wanted. But yeah, we can.
Man, to tell you the truth, man, like, look, we're a little thin on on the linebacker position, man. You know, because look, we just lost Sean Bradley, bro. You
Right.
know. Now, knock on wood, if somebody goes down, are we really gonna trust a rookie on Christian Ellis? You know, to be with Cunningham or to be with Kobe Dean?
Do
You know
we
what
still
I'm
got?
saying?
Do we
We
still
got
got
Nicholas
Patrick?
Morrow still. We still got
Yeah.
Morrow.
Do we still
Oh,
got Patrick Johnson? And he a linebacker?
Yeah, I think he's hurt though.
Hurt?
I thought maybe he was hurt, but I can't remember. I think he got hurt.
yeah, I think he's hurt.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's terrible.
Yeah, but I still really think that we should definitely bring someone else in, you know, just for insurance, you know, if something happened with any of the players as well, you know.
Yeah.
Now, Philip, I'm gonna play this video real quick, and I wanna have your thoughts on this, okay?
All
And
right.
now this is
Okay.
gonna go also with, you know, the Justin Fields and Jalen Hurts comparison and all of that as well.
Okay.
Let me know if you guys can hear or not.
Okay.
This year, he goes in the regular season. He has
I hear it.
now he leads you to the Super Bowl. He leads you? Okay, sorry, he doesn't lead you. You were in the Super Bowl with that quarterback. He didn't lead him. Burrow led the Bengals to the Super Bowl. Who led the Bengals? He got 2 games at the time in the playoffs. Jalen Hurts did nothing.
That's
He
insane,
didn't lead
bro.
nothing in the playoffs. Let's not act like Jalen Hurts played something. I want to ask you something. In the Super Bowl. Who cares? He was under the worst all you wanted was for Dells to give a little bit of criticism to Jalen Hurts. That's all you wanted. For you to say that I prop guys after a game or two all season, have you guys not been mad at me? Because I refuse to do it with Tua. I refuse to do it with Hurts. I refuse to do it with Daniel Jones. I don't prop up guys like that fast. I only prop up guys that I feel like are deserving. Trevor Lawrence turned around the Jaguars with Doug Peterson. He's a franchise guy. Joe Burrow has been to 2 straight AFC Championship games. He's turned around the Bengals franchise. He has more playoff wins of any quarterback in Bengals history. He's a franchise guy. Jalen Hurts did nothing so far in the playoffs. You're getting very hot over something that should not be this. I'm just annoyed because throughout the entire season, I have been labeled as this Hurts hater when I have been speaking fast.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a Hurts hater. He's
He's
absolutely a Hurts hater. How could he say that Hurts didn't do anything? Like, what is he trying to say? Because Hurts had weapons. I mean, Joe Burrow has weapons. I mean, look at the weapons he has at receiver. You know, Burrow's a great quarterback, but I think that's asinine to say that Hurts didn't do anything. Hurts played one of the best games in the Super Bowl that I've ever seen a losing quarterback play. So I think that's just crazy talk.
Yeah, his performance was up there without Super Bowl. The one we won, you know, Tom Brady had a great Super Bowl. Threw for 500 yards. It's up there with that. So I don't get it. I mean, I get it though. It's because like I feel like we got to talk.
Is that a Cowboys fan? Is that a Cowboys fan? That guy?
I think, yeah.
I believe he is. I believe he is.
I mean, they're the most jealous bunch of people I've ever seen in my life. If you look Cowboy fans, I mean, dude, you can't even say, well, we drafted Jalen Carter without them bringing up Mozzie Smith and then trying to actually compare the two. Like they just can't let it go. They can't let it go that they're, you know, they haven't won anything in 30 years. They just can't let it go.
Yeah, they had to bring up the 8-3. Oh, Dak owns the Eagles. It's like, okay, well, yeah, he did his thing in the regular season, but I mean, when has he stopped us from going to the playoffs or doing anything?
I look at it as a bad thing. Like, okay, he's 8-3. Great, he's 8-3. He's never won back-to-back division titles. He's never got back past the second round playoffs. You know what? Most likely that record doesn't stay. Things have a way of evening out. That means he blew a golden opportunity with a great record against the division, and he squandered it. And now you got teams. The Eagles are much better than they've been in years. The Giants are up and coming, and Washington is a good quarterback away from being really good too. So I think it's a bad thing for Dallas. You know, they brag about that, but I think that tells you that you're never going to win with anything with Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, another thing as well, man. I forgot his last name. It was on Speak. It was James and Shady. I don't know if you heard about that. That they were comparing Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields. You know, saying that pretty much Justin Fields is a poor man Jalen Hurts. You know,
He said he
saying that
basically said,
he have a potentially a better on arm talent than what Jalen Hurts actually had right now. You
oh my
know,
God.
so coming from all of that, where do you stand on like on the comparison of on like of Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields and just overall of people not giving the respect, especially after just coming from a Super Bowl, not giving the respect for Jalen Hurts, bro.
I mean, Justin Fields is nowhere near the quarterback Jalen Hurts is, and I think Justin Fields has some talent, but he hasn't proved that he can throw the ball like Jalen Hurts. And I don't care if a guy has a stronger arm. That only means one thing. That just means you have a stronger arm. That doesn't mean that you're a better passer. Jalen Hurts has developed his game. Fields wants to do what Jalen Hurts has done, but he has yet to do it. So to me, until he can actually go out and prove that he can do it, it's not even a comparison.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I'm not gonna crap all over Fields. Like he's a good quarterback. I feel like he's gonna get to
Yeah,
Hurts'
he
level.
might.
And I feel like he's
Yeah,
gonna be probably a top three quarterback in the NFC. And I feel like he's gonna have a breakout season this year,
he might. Yeah,
to say he has better arm talent than Jalen Hurts, he might have a stronger arm, but arm
right.
talent, far as like accuracy wise, no. Like I seen him throw some bad balls last season. Like
Yeah.
it's just something he got to develop in. Like, but that's just what comes with Philly, man. It's because Jalen Hurts is an Eagles. That's the only reason why.
Well,
If
and
you,
if Hurts has a great year this year, you know what they're going to say? They're going to say, "Well, any quarterback would have a great year with those receivers and that offensive line. I mean, look at all the weapons. There's no weaknesses on the offense. Of course, any quarterback. That's what they'll say. They'll always have an excuse,
yeah, that's the
no matter
narrative
what.
now.
And it's crazy, yeah, and it's crazy about on their that they say that because last year whenever Jalen Hurts was hurt and he didn't play that 2 games, Gardner Minshew came in and he could not replicate what Jalen Hurts did.
No,
Even though yeah, he put so many points, and that's one of the things that I really gets on the Dallas Cowboys fans, that like they are so much about stats, but they're not about winning. Like oh, he
right?
put so many
Yeah,
stats like
yeah,
300 yards, 400 yards. Yeah, but did he win the game?
right.
You know what I'm saying? Compared to
Well,
Jalen Hurts, and that's why I freaking love that guy. Pause. But that's why I
yeah.
love him, man, because he freaking like he's about winning. He doesn't care about the stats.
Well,
He doesn't. He
and the
doesn't.
thing is, but I mean, listen, and I've said this before. Like, if you look at the amount of quarterbacks that come out of the draft every year, look out at the amount of first round quarterbacks that come out. When you get to talent, size, and you get to the professional level, they're all really good. They all have talent. It's the ones that can develop, and that's really a mental thing. A lot of times, it's a focus thing. It's how hard you want it. How hard you work, how quickly you can learn and understanding things. Jalen Hurts is a natural leader. He's very, very smart. He's very, very mentally strong. He doesn't get rattled. He's been through ups and downs throughout his career, including college. I mean, he's battle tested. So in the fourth quarter of a game with 2 minutes left, I trust him more than any of those other quarterbacks because he's got the it factor. He's got that it thing that Tom Brady has, that these other guys have. A lot of these other guys all have talent, but they don't have that. And that's, to me, what separates Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. I agree with you on Philly 500. I feel like they might be a lot of talented, but probably a little more talented. But I feel like Jalen Hurts when it all boils down to it, he brings the Kobe mentality. Like
Right.
his mental capacity over exceeds all the or really all the quarterbacks in the NFL, in my opinion. And that's
Yeah.
why I feel like we got something special with the team we got. And to speak on the Cowboys, for them beating us, that's what matters to them. That's the only thing that matters to them. Because they still feel like it's 2018. like how they was doing us bad when we had Carson Wentz. When when they had Amari Cooper, they was just doing us any kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
But now the tables have turned. It's not we not the team no more. And
Yeah.
and I just feel like with all the talent that Dallas had, man, they should at least had at least probably 2 Super Bowl appearances and probably like 3 to 4 NFC Championship appearances with all the talent Dak has had in the past
I
years.
agree.
But
I
let them
agree.
tell it it's always the coach's fault.
Yeah.
But
It's always
that's gonna
somebody
be the
else's fault.
narrative this year.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I think.
and Dallas
I,
did.
no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And Dallas did have some ballers, like they had Zeke on his prime, they had Amari Cooper and CD Lamb at the same time. So at that, whenever they say, "Oh, we never had the same talent that the Eagles had," you guys had top 3 offensive line. You guys had
Right.
Amari Cooper and CD Lamb on the same team as well with Zeke as well. So
And Cedric Wilson. They had Cedric Wilson too. I think Dak threw up 37 touchdowns that year.
No. He had 37. Yeah, and
Something like that, right? And he
yeah,
goes and he loses he loses to the 49ers in the playoffs at home. Like,
in the wild
this
card.
guy he loses at home. They were a #1 seed one year and they lost, I think, to Green Bay. The guy can't win big games. He goes and he loses to Brock Purdy last year. I'm sorry, but they're the biggest bunch of losers that I've ever seen, dude. I'm sorry.
I thought we had that with the Cowboys. Smitty,
what's up, everybody on the chat, man? So we have 8 people on the chat. Make sure you press the like button. It's free, it doesn't cost a thing, and you help you boys out. And make sure to subscribe to both channels as well, And if you're not already subscribed to Philly 500, make sure you subscribe to his channel as well, And it's on the link on the description as well. All right. So, all right, Philly 500. Next thing I want to talk about as well, man, it is the safety room. Okay, how do you feel so far? Based on the past 2 preseason games, how do you feel on? We haven't seen Reed Blankenship play yet. But so far that we heard on practice that he freaking picking the Sean Watson 3 times, and I think he had so far 5 picks on during practice. But how do you feel about Edmonds? How do you feel about Sidney Brown so far, man?
I feel better about the safety position, better than I felt before the preseason started. I still worry about it. Blankenship looks like, we're hearing good things about him. I think Sidney Brown's going to be good. I think he's going to be really good. And I think Kevon Wallace actually has been pretty good. I think Edmonds may be the worst safety that you have. So I feel better about it. But, until I see Blankenship on the field, I don't know. It's just, to me, it's wait and see. And if I could get like a Jeremy Chin or something, I'll put a trigger on it. I would.
So now, do you think now would you start beside Reed Blankenship, Sidney Brown right now or Wallace?
Brown. I'm starting Brown week 1. If it's up to me.
Yeah.
What about you, Quizzy?
Yeah, I bet you already know me. I already been sold on. I said we got the steal of the draft with Sidney Brown. I feel like they gonna him and Reed Blankenship, they gonna bring thunder and lightning. Like they gonna bring the noise for sure. And it's already showing on the field. And I'm proud of Kevon Wallace too, man, because he been on this team for like 3 years now. So since Jalen been in, sometimes it might take you longer to improve, but yeah, I'll be happy to see him get some tick this year. But if I had to starters though, it had to be Reed Blankenship and Sidney Brown for sure.
I'm actually sold, and I think a lot of our fan base is sold on Sidney Brown as well. Especially the way he's being coming in the games, and he doesn't be balling out. Now actually so far what I have seen, because coming out of college, some things that he had to work on, it was tackling. And so far, I mean, at least in the first 2 preseason games, his tackling, to me at least, it seemed fine. So I really do believe for most of our fan base, we are definitely sold on Sidney Brown. And to me, I definitely would have definitely started Sidney Brown to Reed Blankenship as well. You know, and
Yeah.
the one thing that I did not want it to happen is what happened with Nakobe Dean last year, where we redshirt him, you know, and he only plays on special team or something like that, you know, because he has to play this year, you know, especially for him to grow even more. Because right now, tell you the truth, we don't know really what we have on a Kobe Dean. Even though most of us we are sold on a Kobe Dean, and we really think he's gonna be a special player. But at the end of the day, we really don't know what he's really gonna be. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, he's got to get on the field and play. I agree with that. And that, you know what? That's also the thing with Reed Blankenship for me. Like, I like the way he hit last year and stuff, but you know, great. He has 5 interceptions in preseason, but I need to see that in the game. I need to see it in the game.
Yeah, I got him having a breakout season too.
What'd you say, Quizzy?
I said I got him having a breakout season too. I think he's gonna get at least 3 to 4 picks and 2 forced fumbles, and probably like 7 PBUs.
I'll take it. Take it.
Oh heck yeah! Now this last preseason game over here against the Colts. Now, what are you guys expecting to see? Really, you know, we all know that nobody, you know, the first string is not gonna play. It's all gonna be the backups. Now, what are you guys mainly expecting between from the linebackers, from the safety position, even the running back? You know.
Well, I say this: I don't want to see Marcus Mariota anymore. Like, I'm done. That's for sure. I don't want to see him. Like, at 8-9, you're an 8-9 year vet, dude. Like, you're struggling with backups. Like, what? So that's
we're gonna get into that as well. Don't worry, we're gonna get into that.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you good. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, you know, I don't know what's going to be more exciting, watching this game or watching Mark Holmes sand wood, because it's going to be brutal. I'm not going to lie. I don't even think Mariota's playing. Right? If you look at practice, they had Mariota and Hurts take all the reps on, like, basically on Sunday. So to me, what's going to happen is you're going to see McKee the first half and then Book the second half. They also signed a bunch of guys. They signed all those guys so they could sit players. So I don't think we're going to see the first string. I don't think you're going to see the second string. And you may see a little bit of the third string. And then it's going to be, the second half is going to be all bunch of guys that won't even be on the team come the weekend.
Well, yeah, I want to ask you this on Philly 500. How many running backs you think we're gonna keep, and how many wide receivers you think we're gonna keep?
I think you keep 4 running backs. I think 4 running backs, and then the receiver I'm back and forth on, because you got Davante, you got AJ Brown, you got Quez, and you got Oz. Those 4 you have to keep. Then you have to keep Covey, because Covey is just punt returner, right? He's the only punt returner really got. So you're going to keep at least 5. I think they're going to keep 6. I'm going to say 4 running backs, 6 wide receivers, and 3 tight ends. That's what I'll say.
Who do you think your 6th receiver is going to be?
Greg Ward.
Yes, Greg Ward. I want him to make the team because he's a great possession receiver.
Now, I did hear rumors that Tampa may be interested in trading for him. They lost somebody, so he may be a guy that they're looking at. So don't be surprised if they move him before they could cut him and give him a chance somewhere else. But I mean, I think Greg Ward has probably been your best receiver in the 2 preseason games, really.
Besides, I hate it for Tyree Cleveland, man.
I know, that's a shame. Camp. I know he was, but he'll be on IR, so he'll be on the roster, you know. And I think like Joseph Nagata, I see all those guys as practice squad guys. But I mean, Covey takes up a spot. This is what I don't understand. You don't see Covey on the field at all as a wide receiver, like at all. And they're going to take up a spot to have him as a punt returner. So it's just like, to me, it's like, can you even use him on the field? And if you can't use him on the field, then you have to keep a 6 wide receiver. I don't see how you can't.
I'm kind of disappointed in Deion Kane. I thought he was going to do something.
Yeah, I was too. That was his second stint, and McKee threw him a perfect pass, man. He dropped it, but yeah, I think 6. Now, the running back. I don't. Some people think, and I think that it's going to come down to between Penny and Sermon. I think one of those guys get cut. I think the other 3 make it, and I think it's probably going to be Penny that makes it. But I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I really think it's going to be Penny as well, especially after Sermon fumbled. Like, one thing that Sirianni does not like, and that he really emphasized, especially running back and wide receiver, is protecting the ball. Right. That is that's the must for them, And that I really think that that fumble really hurt his stock in regarding making the 53-man roster.
I still feel like he had a better count than Penny though, because he scored twice.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the first game, I didn't think Penny looked good at all. That first preseason,
yeah,
I thought Sermon looked better. The second game, I thought Penny looked a little bit better, and then Sermon had that rebound after the fumble, which I really give him credit for. I think it's just going to depend. He's got an ankle injury also, so it could be one of those things where they stash him on IR or something like that and end up keeping him. But I think it's between Penny and Sermon on the 4th running back. I do.
Yeah, I think. Look, but we got to think this as well, man, because whenever Penny, on that first game, Penny just came back not too long ago from him being hurt as well.
That's true.
So that's like a game of him coming back, trying to get on that flow again. Because on the second preseason game, whenever we saw the preseason game, he looked good, and he had a couple runs, a long run, I think like 15 yards runs as well, So I think it's just getting him reps, more and more reps, which I'm really surprised that they didn't give him more reps on the second preseason game,
Yeah, but it's interesting.
Yeah, but overall, how do y'all feel about the special teams just in general? I feel like that's our weakest link. Like, I don't understand why we don't value linebacker and we don't value special teams. Like, I don't know what it is.
I don't know, because I don't understand the punting situation at all. Like punters don't cost that much money, so you have that kid Matt Ariza sitting out there. Go get him. Sippo stinks. Both those punters stink, and that's the one thing I swear I really believe that we're going. I have a feeling that there's going to be a game early in the season that is going to cost us because of special teams.
I agree.
I worry about that. That scares the hell out of me. I mean, I don't even know. You have Devin Allen, right? And he's supposed to be an Olympics guy, speed and all that stuff. Why put him on the punt? Let's see him if he can return a punt. Find a use for him. But they put him in the game. They run wide receiver screens. They don't even send them deep. I don't understand some of the things like that. But they just act like special teams is whatever. Philly 500 could play special teams. I probably could punt better than Sippos. But, I don't. Special teams scares the hell out of me. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Man, look. Tell you the truth, it scares me too, man. And I'm not gonna say it was the main reason why we lost the Super Bowl, because it definitely was not, But that special team, whenever what is his name? The wide receiver that they got from the Giants, when he ran all the way, almost scored a touchdown out of a punt. Because Seapaws, he couldn't punt on. Was Looney? I think his name was Looney or something like that.
I forget.
If we don't fix our special team, if we get someone that can actually punt or receive punt as well, because Kobe, man, towards the end of the season, he got a little bit better, but it was a disaster. He doesn't fumble the ball or anything like that, but he just ran into traffic. it was like a
Like a
deer
magnet,
on the headlights, you know.
I know.
Yeah,
It was. It was.
I wanted us to get Cordell Patterson. Like, I was like, why not trade for him? Like,
Yeah, that'd be great.
I don't know.
I'm more worried about the punter than the punt returner, though. You know, like the punter, like you need somebody that could change the field position. And I just keep thinking about that kid Matt Ariza. Like he was cleared out of all the wrongdoing. He was cleared. Like let the kid go back and continue his career. Go sign him. You know, how much is he going to cost you? Can't cost you that much. He's a punter.
Yeah,
And especially now that nobody really want him either, you know, like nobody's gonna sign him or doesn't want to sign him, so he should be really, really cheap.
Yeah. Somebody will sign him when one of their punters get hurt during the season, and then he'll get signed. That's what'll happen.
Yeah, I think so too. Now, this on Mariota, man, you know, because we got to talk about him, you know. Mariota, the first, you know, 2 preseason games, is not just that, but also throughout camp, he's been struggling. What is your take on Mariota, on him being QB2? Is there a possibility of actually McGee taking his spot for QB2? Or is there a possibility of us signing someone else, you know, and releasing Mariota?
I think we're sticking with Mariota. The fact that they didn't give him reps the other day at practice, like I said earlier, I think that means they plan on keeping him on the roster. I guess there's always a chance they could sign somebody else, but I highly doubt it. And I don't think McKee would be the number 2. I think we're going to go in this season with him as the number 2. You know, I don't know I really think it's mental. Like, I think it's a mental thing because I've seen him, you know, not be great, like the greatest quarterback ever, but I've seen him be able to hit open receivers. He can't hit anybody. I mean, these guys are wide open.
I'm talking about
And he can't hit them. And it's not like he's running for his life or he's got pressure. He's got all the time. And these guys are wide open. So I think it's like up here in his head. Like I really do.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like it's something mental because I'm like, there's no way, bro. You're an 8-9 year vet and you looking this bad. Like, come on, dude. Like,
I know.
but I feel like the QB position is his to lose because you know they pay him what $5 million, so they're gonna let him play. But I just hope we don't have to rely on him this season. That's all I'm
Me
hoping.
too. Yeah,
Tanner
I
McKee is
agree.
clearly better than him. Tanner McKee is clearly better than him. I don't care what nobody says.
He is. I agree.
And there's one thing that actually you, 5500, you and Joey Shake were talking about. Actually, Joey Shake mentioned this. Whenever he said this, I was like, man, I have the same feeling as well. Because you guys are on Shakedown Podcast, and whenever you guys were talking, and Joey Shake, he said that whenever Mariota, he's missing like those throws, and then like his head just like fall, like, and like he was getting that Wentz vibe, you know.
Yeah.
And to my mind, I'm like that is like 100% accurate. Like every time that he was missing throws, like I was getting that vibe too. Like it was just like 2020 Wentz again, you know.
Yeah.
And the players, they're like after like a couple missed throws, they're not the players, the offensive line, the running back, the receiver, they're not playing like for him anymore, you know, especially on that second preseason game. And then McGee came in, you know, in the third quarter, and everything completely changed. You know, it was just like whenever Jalen Hurts came in against, I think it was I don't know if it was against the Saints or against the Green Bay Packers, and everybody started playing a lot better, you know, and putting up points and all that as well, you know.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I just think that, like, that's why I think it's a mental thing, because I think he's like going, you know, imagine being able to do something and then all of a sudden you can't do it, and you know you could do it and you've done it before and you can't. That's why I could see him having that reaction where he's putting his head down. Like, I think this guy's in his head and he's like he doesn't know why he can't hit. I think it's completely mental. I do.
Yeah, he overthinking, like he's down himself. That's how he's playing. You can tell.
And if
All
you
right.
look at him on the sideline with Jalen Hurts talking to him, like he looks confused. Like I don't
Yep.
know what's going on. I don't know. Look, remember that game a few years ago when it went to they beat us in overtime? He threw for like 380 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Didn't
He
they
had
come back?
trouble making. We were up 3 in overtime. We go down, we kick a field goal, and they went down and scored a touchdown and won it. And he made some huge throws to Corey Davis and stuff like that. It's like, dude, I've seen this guy do it. You know,
Yep.
he's the perfect example to me of what we were talking about with like Fields and stuff. Like these quarterbacks come out. A lot of times it depends. They're all talented, but it depends on where they go. If you put Mariota out of college with Andy Reid, I don't think he's the quarterback he is right now. You know what I
I
mean?
think
But
he'd be cold.
yeah, the right.
Cold.
If you don't go as a player, you don't go to the right coaches, and they don't teach you, and you don't develop, you get ruined, especially as a quarterback.
Yeah. His
I believe
mechanics
that.
terrible.
But yes, I think I'm a firm believer too on guys that you got to put in the work too, man. You know, and yeah, we don't know what happened behind doors and all that, you know. But one thing that, and I'm so glad that we have Jalen Hurts because like he's hungry for hard work, man. Like he works his tail off, you know. And I believe like a lot of quarterbacks, especially quarterbacks that's very like really good, really talented, coming off like, and they have somewhat of a good season on the first year or second year, like they don't work as hard. They're not as hungry,
Yeah.
you know, as this other quarterback that are not as talented, you know.
Yeah. Nope, I agree.
Now, on Sean Desai, you know, what is your expectation? You know, you've seen so far 2 preseason games. What is your expectation for Sean Desai, you know, for this coming up season, man?
I think with Sean Desai, I just expect a more aggressive defense, a defense that blitzes a little more, that gets at the quarterback a little more, and that plays downhill a little more. Not so reactionary and trying to counter all the time like Gannon does, but a little more aggressive. I think you're going to see him try to use, and hopefully, I mean, because this is what he said, try to put players, you know, on the field that are doing something right, like you know, use them to their strength. So I expect a more aggressive defense, and I hope that that's what we'll get.
I mean, you can't be worse than Jonathan Gannon, and like because just this stats right here, Jonathan Gannon blitz percentage last year it was 9%. Dead last. Now the second to last on blitz percentage, it was actually, I believe it was Sean Desai on defense, which was 22%. Now 9% to 22%, that's a huge gap.
Yeah.
You know?
I know, but that's a lot. Like if we go to 22%, that's going to feel like every other down he's blitzing, because Gannon never blitzed. And I just don't understand it. Like I think about like the Dallas game versus Cowboys on Christmas Eve. Like I don't know why he wasn't blitzing Prescott, especially the way he throws interceptions. He had no problem if he wasn't getting pressure. I can't stand Gannon. I couldn't stand his defense, and I'm so glad it's gone. Just on that, like I'm rooting for Desai just because he's not Jonathan Gannon. And that's the truth.
Yeah, I knew he was the liability when he let Andy Dalton go 13 for 14. Like that was embarrassing. Like come on, it's Andy Dalton. He never won a playoff game. He's stayed with the Bengals for 8-9 years. Never.
No, I think he had one. I think he had one playoff win.
No, he never. No, never.
No?
He never won a playoff game.
I don't remember them winning. Yeah.
He never won a playoff game. They always got spanked by the Steelers. Either the Steelers or the Ravens in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah, I'm expecting big things come actually from this side as well, man. You know, like you said, compared to Jonathan Gannon, that's gonna be like a huge upgrade, man. It's just huge upgrade, you know. I know he's gonna adjust on a fly as well, and he's not gonna wait into the second half to adjust and just get killed during the first half and then adjust on the second half. I know that's
Yeah.
not gonna happen with Sean Desai.
Yeah.
And just talking on just whenever he was talking about on his press conference and just seeing, on the first 2 preseason game, like I believe he blitzed more than Jonathan Gannon did all year last year.
Yeah, in 2 preseason games.
Yeah. So now this chemistry between Jalen Hurts and Brian Johnson, I think this is gonna be huge, and I think that's gonna be it's gonna be the key why I believe we'll go to another Super Bowl this year. Okay. Now, what do you think about Brian Johnson as our OC, and what do you expect from him this coming up season?
I like it. I mean, he's been with us since Nick Sirianni came in. He's worked with Jalen Hurts. He knows him well. Of course, you're going to have there's going to be changes within the offense, but I think what he's going to give us is and it's partly because we got DeAndre Swift, but I think the whole added element of using the running back in a passing game, like if you could add that dimension to this team, it makes them really hard to stop, because if you got Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Goddard in the passing game, then you have to worry about Jalen Hurts running. Now you got to worry about he's going to dump it off to a running back, which they didn't do a lot last year. I think it takes his offense to another level. So I think this offense is more potent than it was a year ago.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like he's going to utilize DeAndre Swift a lot more. I feel like DeAndre Swift will be the X factor on our offense, and he's going to open up a lot of stuff. I feel like it's even going to open up a lot of more stuff for Dallas Goedert as well, the middle of the field. Yeah, so I feel like we're going to take it up another notch. That's why I got Hurts throwing for 4,300 yards this year. So yeah, I want to get your like, you feel like he gonna get 4K passing this year on 500?
I think it's going to be close. I think he's going to be right around there. I could see a little bit over 4,000, a little under. I think he's somewhere around there, but I think he throws for over 30 touchdowns. But I think right around 4. Yeah, I think it's going to be something like that. But yeah, he should. I would bet that wouldn't be a bad bet.
I think actually he is, and I'll tell you why. On DeAndre Swift, man, we had no checkdowns last year, 0.
Right.
And I think DeAndre Swift, like some of the plays that I've seen in highlights and all that, some checkdowns that he had last year with the Lions, man, some of those he was taken to the house.
Yeah.
So he's gonna get at least, I'll say, just out of Swift, just out of checkdowns, I believe he's gonna get at least a good 200 to 300 yards right there. And last year, how many yards he had? Like 3,700. So you had at least, just let's say 200-300 yards to that. That's 4,000 right there. Something that we did not have last year whatsoever.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think they're going to throw more anyways this year, because I think their running comes down a little bit. I'm not saying they're going to get rid of it, but I do think it comes down. And I do think he throws more. You've got to take advantage of the receivers and tight end, man. Those guys they're all great,
Yeah,
that is true. Now we're about to hit 50 minutes, man. Now, Queezy, do you have anything else to add? Anything else to ask?
Yeah, I was gonna ask Philly 500. Give us a record prediction, man. What you got us?
I'm gonna say 14-3 again. I say 14-3 again. Number 1 seed. I think that they start the way I see this going is I think they start off really good. Again, I think they have go out to a really good record. I think that the offense is going to be carrying us early. And then I think the defense will kind of get used to Desai. The young guys will get kind of settled in. And I think by the end of the year, the defense is going to be playing really good going into the playoffs. But the NFC, I don't think is that tough because you got the Niners and then what? The Cowboys. I mean, there's no Brady, there's no Aaron Rodgers. So I think that the path to the Super Bowl is easier in the NFC. AFC's tough. So I think 14-3. And I think they get the number 1 seed again. That's what I think. I actually picking a rematch at the Super Bowl. I got Chiefs Eagles in a rematch this year.
I can see it. Yeah, I got us going 14-3 and the floor 13-4, and I got us playing the Ravens in the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Tell the truth, man. I think if anything, I believe we'll actually, if Tua stays healthy, I think we'll play Miami on the Super Bowl, man.
That'd be a great game.
That would. But 5,500, man, I really appreciated you coming through, man. And we will over here. We love talking some birds, and we appreciate you coming through, man.
Yeah, I got one more thing before you go. Yeah, I just want to basically, bro, 5,500, give you your flowers, man, because you inspired a lot of people to make content. When I first started getting on YouTube, it was after the Super Bowl season. First 2 people I saw, the first person I saw was Lord Bronson, and then after I watched his video, it went straight to your video, and I was like, man, I'm gonna do this one day. So I just want to give you your flowers, man, for just making a platform for everybody and inspiring us all to be better and rep the birds, man. So.
Oh man, thank you, man. Those are like the kindest words you could say. So I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys having me on, and I wish you guys nothing but the best on your channels, and love to do this again sometime.
Oh, definitely. Maybe throughout the season, halfway through the season, we can get you again, and give your thoughts again,
Yeah.
And everybody in the chat, we really, us content creator, we do appreciate all of you guys. We love all of you guys, and if you guys are new, like I said, man, make sure you subscribe to 5,500 Queezy the Great. Descriptions is below. And thanks so much for all your supports. Hey. And until next time.
One more before we go. I gotta get you to do this for 500 before you leave.
All right.
Can I please get the bad dog is a mad dog? Bad dog is a mad dog. Am I saying it right?
Bad dog, the mad dog. Bad dog is a mad dog. Cause he knows the Giants always stink. They trade all up again. They draft they stink. Thank you very much. There you go. I haven't done that in a while.
All right, guys.
All right. Thanks, bro.
Check out.